Example 2, solve 5 halves x minus 3 halves x equals 1/2. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, what I did here is I took the 5 halves, the two x terms, and I combined their coefficients. They're like terms, so I can combine their coefficients. So I get 5 halves minus 3 halves is 2 halves. Right? And then 2 over 2 is just 1. 2 over 2 is 1. 1 times x is just x. So x equals 1/2. And I just wrote out over here just to make sure you know what I'm doing there. So these are pretty straightforward. Okay. I'm going to check it by taking 1/2 and putting it in the original equation and see if I get a half out of it. So I put a half in for x here and a half in for x here, and I'm going to simplify that expression of known numbers and hope that I get a half. So I get 5 halves times 1/2, that's this 1/2, minus 3 halves times this 1/2, because those are both the x's. And it equals, and I just multiplied them out, 5 times 1 is 5, 2 times 2 is 4, 5/4, minus 3 times 1 is 3, 2 times 2 is 4, 3/4. They're both fourths, so you can subtract them by subtracting the numerators. 5 minus 3 is 2, so you get 2/4. And then those are both even, so 2 divides both of those, so you divide the numerator and denominator by 2 to get 1/2, which checks. Example 3, find the solution set. Remember, they said solution set here, so be very careful. In fact, when you enter your answers on these, you should always double check to see if they wanted the solution or the solution set. So it says find the solution set of 4x minus 5 equals 3. So first, I want to get rid of the 5 on the left so that I have just the x term on the left, and I have constant terms on the right. And then I can combine the two constant terms because they're similar terms. They're like terms. So I added 5 to both sides. Addition rule of equality. Add 5 on both sides of the equation to combine constant terms and to get x term on left of the equation and constant terms on the right of the equation. So I get 4x plus 0 equals 8. So that's 4x equals 8. And now I have to divide both sides by 4. That's to get the x alone. So I have x equals something. So 4 over 4 is 1. 8 over 4 is 2. 1 times x is just x. X equals 2. But they wanted the solution set, it says right here, solution set. So what they want is curly brackets 2. Now you want to check your answer by taking the original equation, this one here, and replace the x with a 2 and see if this left side simplifies to give you 3. So 4 times 2 minus 5. I do the 4 times 2 first. 8 minus 5, and 8 minus 5 is 3, which checks with what I had here, 3. So I did it correctly.